Welcome to the Medium in the Middle podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, the Medium in the Middle. On this podcast, I share my journey as a developing psychic medium, as a Reiki master teacher, as an Akashic record practitioner, and anything else that's thrown my way. Join me every week. I release new episodes every Tuesday. Hello, party people. Podcast people. Guys, I really want to think of like a name because I feel like all the cool podcasts have like names. I feel like we need to be like the middlers or something, you know, the ones in the middle. I'm not saying it has to be that. I'm just saying I want a cool name. So if you have one, tell me so I can start saying like, sup, middlers. Okay, let's think of something better. So help me out, please. But I just like want a name. I've been thinking about it, but my podcast was new and small, and now it's growing. And welcome to all the new listeners. Thanks for being here. My name is Steph. I am the medium in the middle. I've been able to meet more of you recently, which is funny and also a little weird for me because it used to be in Banff. No one knew me as medium in the middle. I was just like Steph who did Reiki, but now I'm getting more people who are finding me through the podcast come see me in real life, which is amazing. And it's funny because now I'm more known as medium in the middle. It's just an interesting shift and change. So very cool. I'm happy to meet you guys. And it was so nice last week. I had someone ask if they could take like a screenshot of us. We had a distance session together. And I just thought, wow, that's so cool. Like, yeah, you could take a picture with me. And I'm always like, I hope you guys know I'm way less cool than I probably seem to be. I don't even know how cool I seem to be, but I have a podcast and I'm in a basement apartment. So just so you know. But that doesn't matter. We're here delivering the goods. Today we have a fun episode for episode 77. We're doing another Q&A. Because I just like interacting with you guys and I like to hear your questions. They're always submitted on Instagram. If you want to join the party, at Medium in the Middle on Instagram and Facebook. It's always fun over there. I am a big jokester on my stories. I think I'm hilarious at least. And if you want to book a session with me, I do distance Reiki, Akashic Records, Psych K. That's all available online, themediuminthemiddle.com. If you're in person, if you're in Banff, if you're coming to Banff, come see me in real life. In real life is so nice. I like seeing humans. So come see me in Banff. I offer in-person Reiki and in-person Psych K. Akashic Records are always done on Zoom. I record it for you and send you the recording. So come see me on Instagram. Come see me in real life. Just come hang out, middlers. No, middlers has to go. I don't like it. Anyways, today we have a Q&A, but before we jump into it, I do have one announcement. I always feel like the announcements that I say at the beginning of the episode are kind of like school announcements, you know, when you have to sing "O Canada" and then you hear the announcements for the day. I was always super stoked about those. It's like, yes, the announcements. Like, today is pizza day. I hope you feel that way. I hope you feel that way about this announcement because today is pizza day in Reiki world. 2 new level 1s are open for registration right now. Like right now, they're open. So the last one sold out in 24 hours. We know this. You guys are into Reiki. I'm stoked on this. So I released 2 more level 1s. We're doing it. We're doing it, Harry. May 1 and 2 and June 5 and 6. I don't know why I said it that way, but we're rolling with it. So May 1st and 2nd, June 5th and 6th, 2 more Reiki level 1s. They are open for registration. Link in the show notes, of course. It's all held online via Zoom, so they're available to anyone in the world. They're so fun and so amazing, and I love doing them. Just so you know, though, there will be another level 1 and a level 2 in June still. So if these dates don't work for you, we got more. I don't know what July and August is going to look like. I don't know. So I'm trying to get all the trainings while we're still at home. The weather's transitioning. What's happening? You're getting Reiki. That's what's happening. So those dates are up. If you want a spot, go grab one. I know they won't last long, but maybe 48 hours. We'll see. So today's episode 77, and I wanted like some cool numerology about 77, and I like tried looking it up, and I was just like, didn't really like anything. And I'm really into 3, 6s, and 9s. That's a little foreshadowing for you, and we're gonna stop there. So I should have done something at like episode 66 and like 33. I don't know why I've never thought of that before, but welcome to episode 77. If you've binged, welcome to episode 77. You've made it. And we're kicking off today with 2 card pulls. I asked the universe, what do we need to know? I asked for some guidance, and like I really asked this time. I was like, I need something. And if I need something, I know you guys need something, because we're in this boat where we vibe together. Oh, also happy new moon in Libra, full moon in Libra. There was something in Libra. Hell yeah, I'm a Libra. Shout out to the Libras. Big energy this weekend. I saw someone in the grocery store today, and she's like, Steph. And I was like, hey. She was like, was there something going on with the moon this weekend? And I was like, yeah. She's like, I knew it. And then we're like, bye. And it was like so funny because at that exact same time, like there was 2 guys walking by us, and I was like, I wonder what they're thinking about that 2-second conversation. She's like, I just got to go home. And I was like, it's okay. So 2 cards this week. First card, Rebecca Campbell, Work Your Light Oracle card deck. Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Things are changing at a cellular level. You are not who you were a year ago or who you will be soon. Guys, I have an episode coming out in 2 weeks from now. I'm just predicting it because I know it's going to happen and manifesting that out of it. I can't wait. I just can't wait. Okay. You are in between emerging, half risen, half falling. Keep doing the work. You are transforming. You will look back at this time with awe. So much is happening in your inner world and within your cells. It's a time to release old ways of being that have kept you in fight, flight, freeze mode. To choose a new way of being where trauma is not the driving force. Old childhood patterns are rising up to be healed. Woohoo! As you allow yourselves to observe them and feel them without attachment, they loosen their grip and fall away. You are being called to new ways to self-soothe. Saturn and the Black Madonna and the African goddess Oshun influence this card. Saturn represents destruction and transformation. The Black Madonna represents the underground and all that has been cast aside. And Oshun represents the tender love of the original mother. Sorry if I'm saying that name wrong. A rethreading is happening, healing at the deepest levels. While you're in this phase, don't put yourself under pressure to perform. You may need to review your relationships with your body, perhaps even shifting your diet or exercise regime or getting energetic healing support. You may need to consider some kind of emotional support, as the issue from your childhood may come up to be healed. You are deeply loved. Oh, okay. Transformation. Okay, we see you. Card number 2. I pulled this one from the Angel Guide Oracle book by Kyle Gray. I've been digging this deck. So I was shuffling, and I was like, I'm just going to shuffle till the card jumps out at me. So shuffling. And then literally this card jumped out at me, and I was like, ooh. And I went, ooh. And then I opened the book, exactly to the page of the card. And I was like, ooh. And I was like, this is good. So the card that I pulled and then exactly opened up to is Power and Intention. When you align your intentions with the highest good and act with love and consideration, your power is intensified. When you draw this card, your angels are drawing close to remind you of this. You have the capacity to be a leader and guide at this time, and you are being encouraged to align with love and the highest good so that you act from the heart. Often when power rises within, we can find our ego gets louder, and this is because it wants us to be limited and to question or even stifle our growth. Don't let it hold you back now. Call in your angels and invite them to help you to listen closely to the voice of your soul so that you can move forward powerfully and effectively in a loving way. Okay, I want to keep reading because we want to hear the extended message. Angels are encouraging you to reconnect with your initial ideas and intentions for whatever you are thinking about at this time, or even for your entire life. Guys, often we have the initial intention and then over time our ideas change. The universe is still responding to our initial intentions, though, because we have let them go. And when we let them go, we let God. So when you are confused about how to move forward at this time, you need to recognize that you are a powerful being with influence and potential. Yeah, you are. You are a powerful being with influence and potential. So am I. Yes. Have a clear conversation with God and your angels about your intentions and recognize that what is unfolding at this time has the power to allow you to live your life from a space of pure potentiality. Mic drop. I just dropped the book because that's all I had to drop. But this is what's up. This is what's up. Transformation and power and intention. I'm about it. I'm about it, and I hope you're about it. And that's what we needed to know today, this week, whenever you're listening to this. So let's digest that. Take a breath. And let's get into the questions. Because literally a backpack just fell behind me. So Spirit's here. Guys, you could have just said hello. You didn't have to throw my stuff on the floor. Spirit's been coming back with a vengeance, guys. They're here. Okay, so now that I know I'm not alone, and ghosts are here, let's get into today's questions. What better way to start than to have Spirit throwing stuff around behind me? Sup, guys? What's up? What's up? So you submitted these questions on Instagram. Thank you so much. I love reading about what you guys want to know. And it's funny because there was a few of the same ones, which is like a vibe. So I'm going to answer them as fast as possible so I can get through them all, or as many as possible. So if I don't answer your question, I'm sorry, but this is speed round questions. The first question: how does it look when you connect or go into the Akashic? Are you met by someone or a being? Okay, this is a really good question. And I actually get asked this a lot, is like what it's like when I go into the Akashic Records. If you don't know, I read the Akashic Records, and the Akashic Records are all about you. So it's different than like talking to spirit where I'm trying to interpret things. I don't see anything. My eyes close when I'm in the Akashic Records. And I don't see anything. I don't get any visuals. All I get is words, and they take over my mouth, is how I like to describe it. So I don't even know what the next word is going to be. That's why I talk so fast in the Akashic Records. I've put a few clips of me talking in the Akashic Records into past podcast episodes so you can hear the difference. And I really feel like it's channeling. Like that is my definition of channeling. They take over my mouth and they and then they leave. But it doesn't actually look like anything. And I'm always surprised at the information that they say just as it's being delivered from my mouth. So I think it's kind of funny, like the sitter or whoever I'm reading for, they'll like see me react to the things that I'm saying. And I'll usually be like, oh, that's a really good reference. Or like, yeah, that really makes sense. And I'm like talking to myself almost. But in terms of what do the records look like? Nothing. I see black, my eyes are closed. And the longer I'm in the records, it's like the more glued my eyes are shut. So that's what it's like inside the Akasha. Thank you for your question. This wasn't also a very good question. Can you get passwords from Spirit for their accounts they had? And I feel like my telephone line isn't that strong. Sometimes people have asked for like a missing piece of a recipe or what was the secret ingredient for this. And I'll try my best, and I feel like it is possible, but the telephone line isn't that strong in regards to like uppercase L, then this word, then a 354 and exclamation mark, like I don't actually think my telephone line is that strong, but I do think there's very talented mediums in this world who could probably get it. Next question. What do I need to know about the Libra new moon? I am just as in the dark about you, and I don't know if this is like an effect where people think that I know about astrology because I know a little bit about spirit and Reiki and just like I'm in the world of energy. But when it comes to the moon, I am just like probably the most of you listening. I'm always like, something's wrong, something's happening with the moon. Or something's weird, there's probably something going on with the moon. But I have my people for that. So if you want to follow Bravely Beautiful Court on Instagram is a really good one. She's always telling me what's going on in the sky, and just find some astrologers, but I am unfortunately am not your girl. I need to ask those people and follow them. And it really helps when you know what's going on in the sky above you. Next question. Does the spirit ever hang around with you even after you got the message delivered? Sometimes, yes, like they might linger a little bit, but usually once they deliver their message, they peace out. They have no more real reason to be around me anymore. But sometimes they might hang around. I'm like, oh, like you were from today, but they usually don't stay past that day. They used to hang around more. I think, like I talked about this in past episodes, where they would like hang out until I like met who they belong to. But my boundaries are so strong right now, like that is not an option. You are not allowed to hang around spirit, and they're not allowed to be in my house. So very, very rarely does it happen. I think once they deliver their message, it's like poof, I burp and they go. Next question. How can I best prepare for my Reiki level 1 class with you? Ooh, good question, because a lot of you are taking my level 1s now. You don't actually need to do anything. For the weekend, you need to be fully sober of any recreational drugs or alcohol. And I will send you that in an email like the week of your training, and I'll send you everything you need in regards to like a pen, a paper, a chair. But a lot of people ask me, like, should I read a book? Do you recommend anything? And my honest answer is no. I don't recommend any books. I don't recommend you reading anything. I recommend take the course first and then see what sparks your interest. I give you a little sprinkle of so many things like chakras, meridians, energy pathways, auras. It's like, find out what you like after the course. If you're like, whoa, Steph did her power hour on chakras and I'm obsessed, go get a book on that. If you're like, ooh, I want to know about meridians, go get a book on that. If you're like, what about reflexology? Go get a book on that. But take the course. Take the course, have an open mind, come rested, but you don't really need to do anything in regards to prepare, especially for level 1. It's all about you. Everything is about your own healing. So if you want to sign up for a level 1, there's 2 open right now, May and June. Okay, so someone asked, hey, do you give readings? I'm assuming this is mediumship readings, and the answer is confidently no. If you want to know why, go back and listen to the episode why I don't do mediumship readings. I think that was a few episodes ago, but I have decided and I'm standing in it. The next question. I'd love more advice on developing the best questions for an Akashic reading. Ooh, okay, let's get into this a little bit because I do get asked this a lot. So I have 3 episodes on this. Episode 34, 36, and recently I've done another episode and I can't think of the number off the top of my mind. But what I recommend is before you have an Akashic record reading, before you even book it, have your questions. Know what you want to ask, know what you want to talk about. And I always say, like, be as specific as possible. So if you're just like, why am I afraid of the dark? But if you're like, every time I shut off the lights, I feel like my imagination goes nuts and I feel like I'm not alone and I just can't seem to let go of this fear that I always have when I'm in the dark. Like, I'm wondering why I can't get over this. What do I need to know about this fear and how I can overcome it? Better question. But you can ask about habits. You can ask about patterns. You can ask about things in your life that maybe you need to see a different way. Like, whenever it's something about perspective, I feel like the Akasha always comes through with like a good mic drop moment. And whenever you need to know like how to view something in your life, or if you're ever like, what do I do in this case? How do I view this? So the how, what, why questions are obviously what I always say. But it's just, you want it to be focused on you. What can I do? It's always going to be talking about you as a mirror because it's all about you. So they won't talk about other people. They won't talk about the future because they're not fortune tellers. With that information in mind, some of the best questions that I've ever received in the Akasha are like the deep, hard questions. Are the ones where people are asking the hard questions where I know they're hard to say to me. I know they're uncomfortable. I know it was hard for you to write that question. And the harder questions that you write in regards to, it's difficult for you to say it. It's difficult for you to acknowledge it. It's difficult for you to say it to a stranger. Like, some people are like double swallowing before they even say this question out loud to me. those are the answers you're going to get the juicy responses to. That's when you're going to really get out of the Akasha what you need. I feel like that's also why I don't go into my Akasha very often, because I don't have a lot of questions. And I know what they're going to say to me in regards to like, figure it out. You're in choice. Like everything is a decision. But sometimes we need to be reminded of it. And sometimes we need it to be heard. And sometimes it's like, why do I have such a hard time standing in my power? Why do I have such a hard time being confident? Why can I never public speak? What's holding me back? Whatever it could be, you might get a perspective that's helpful for you. Or you might just get told something in a different way that makes sense. That's what I really like about the Akasha is you're told what you already know in a way that you need to hear it. Like I feel like that should be their slogan. Like the Akashic Records, you're told what you need to know the way that you need to hear it. Like cue like that star music, like that da-na-na. That would be my advice. Have 8 to 10 good questions before you book your appointment. Because I talk really fast in the Akasha. We get through a lot. And if you do the work beforehand, you'll get what you need. If you ask, I always use the same example. Why do I have the relationship with my mom? You're going to get a very vague answer. But if you go into the relationship with your mom, if you explain it to me, if you tell me what's going on, if you outline over the years what has changed, what has shifted, how you're feeling now, how she feels, how it's impacting your life, and then you ask a question, you're going to get such a different answer. Very good question. Thank you for that question, because I think it comes up a lot where people want to know how to get the best out of their appointment. And like I say, you can come in with light questions, but you're going to get back what you put down. If you put down a very detailed, asking specific question, your answer is going to be that. If you put down a simple, what about this? You're going to get back the same. Okay, we'll go into some easy ones here. Favorite chips? I would say plain wavy Lay's. I know that sounds boring, but I just love plain wavy Lay's. My next second favorite would be all dressed, Ruffles all dressed, 10 out of 10. So I've ranted about this before, but I'm gluten-free and dairy-free, and a lot of chips have dairy in them. Old Dutch flavors do not, so I'm like into flavors now that I can be again. But plain wavy are like where I'm at. I could live off of plain wavy chips for life. They're so good. Someone asked me what my favorite girl wad was. Ooh, this is a CrossFit question. Okay, so for some reason, right when I read this question, I thought of DT, which I know is not a girl wad, but DT is like, I really like that wad. It's 5 rounds, 12 deadlifts, 9 hang power cleans, 6 push jerks. I like barbell cycling. So if I had to pick a favorite girl wad, I'd probably pick Grace, 30 clean and jerks for time. Annie's always like a fun, quick one, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 double unders and sit-ups. That's like a good burner at the end. I hate Fran. I hate it. 21, 15, 9 thrusters and pull-ups. I just won't do it. Like, I just won't. My other favorite types of workouts are chippers. So like Filthy 50, anything that's like a long chipper, I really, really enjoy it. Like even Murph, I don't mind it. It's just like a long grind. I like those type of workouts because I'm not like a fast out the gate. I'm not a sprinter. I'm like, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to do this for 30 minutes. Like, let's go. Thank you for the CrossFit question. Shout out to all my CrossFit chicks out there. Okay, let's jump back to a mediumship question and Reiki. Does Reiki energy come easier or work better or connect better if you have the gift of mediumship? So my short answer to this question is no. I think if anything, Reiki will tune you into your gifts. Reiki will open up your gifts. Reiki is a gateway to other things, but I don't think it makes anything easier or better or connects you quicker or anything like that. I think it's just like another tool in your tool belt that you can use. So I think it's definitely like a great way to tune in with your intuition, a great way to get in touch with your energy, a great way to learn more about all of that. But I don't think it makes mediumship easier. If anything, it might make the distinguish between you and spirit easier. I guess you could say that because you'd get very clear on like what's your energy and what's not. So that might help you when you're doing readings. But Yeah, it's hard to say actually. I don't know if I would give a straight yes or no answer. I'd give it a gray maybe. Perhaps. Depends. Okay, so the next question. If someone wants to be a spiritual entrepreneur, what's your advice? Ooh, if someone wants to be a spiritual entrepreneur, what's my advice? I guess I'm a spiritual entrepreneur. My advice is to do you, be authentic, be real, because people will see through all of the fake that you put out. And especially when it comes to spirituality, and especially when it comes to being an entrepreneur, you're doing it your way and you're special because you're you. So I feel like the more you can embrace your you-ness, your uniqueness, the more people will relate to you and be able to connect, because there's enough of everything else. You don't need to pretend to be anything. You don't need to be a mold of anything. You don't need to copy paste anything. I would say that you need to have a thick skin and be able to just like not have your head down and work, but kind of know where you're going, know where you're doing, be confident and strong in yourself, because you will get criticism and questions, and you just have to like know that what you're doing is you and real. So I feel like the more you're just yourself, the easier that second part will be. Yeah, what else would I say to someone who wants to be a spiritual entrepreneur? Follow your intuition. Follow your intuition, follow your gut. Follow your yeses and your nos and pay attention, because you're going to be tested, and you have to do the work too. So that's another thing I would say is like you have to keep growing and working on yourself, and like the work and the job is never done. There's always growth, there's always expansion, there's always lessons, there's always something new to learn about yourself, about your intuition. So get really good at listening to your intuition, and it will guide you along the way to everything you need, everywhere you need to go, things you need to be at, people you need to meet. It will take you there, but you need to learn to listen and trust. Yeah, good question. Okay, another food question. One food lover to another. My top 3 favorite foods or meals or cuisines. So I love potatoes. I love potatoes in every form. It's funny, every morning I make potatoes and eggs, and I call my grandma when I'm making breakfast after the gym, and she's always like, "What'd you eat today?" And I always say potatoes and eggs. So now it's like a joke, and she's like, "What'd you eat today?" And I say, "What do you think I ate today?" She's like, "Potatoes and eggs. Why are you always eating potatoes and eggs?" And I was like, "I like potatoes and eggs. Like such a perfect breakfast." I'm like, I add other things too, but potatoes are just chef's kiss. I love them baked, I love them mashed, I love them French fried, I love them in chips. I just love potatoes. So number 1, potatoes, and I'm gluten free, so my carb options are potatoes or rice, essentially. And then I would say Greek food. I love Greek food. I love Greek food. I worked at a Greek restaurant for a long time, and I like could not stop eating it. And I was like, would I ever get sick of this? And I never do. Like even now, if I am at the mall at the food court, I will get Greek food. I do love Lebanese food. I really, really like Lebanese food. Like I like going to a Lebanese restaurant. I like Lebanese food. It's delicious, or Mediterranean food. I think it's full of flavor, and I also grew up with it. So yeah, I would say we're kind of all over the map here, but potatoes and Greek food and Lebanese food. Next question. What would I tell someone in their early 20s? Oh, what would I tell someone in their early 20s? I like think back to what I was doing. And I think I would say don't wait. Don't wait to do anything. I feel like there's like sometimes you're like, "Oh, like I'll do that later. I'll do that when I'm older." Like just do everything. Say yes to everything. Not everything, but just go on adventures. Do all the things you need to do when you're young. Travel, have fun, be weird, discover who you are. Like really discover who you are and have fun doing it, but have fun. Just have so much fun, because life just gets full of responsibilities and baggage and other things, and you can still have fun and you can still do all those things. And when you're at that age, it doesn't seem that way. You're like, "Oh my god, life's so hard." And I get it. It is. But have fun. Yeah, live your life. What else would I tell someone in their 20s? That's so hard because it's like you want them to just discover everything on their own because they're not going to listen anyways. Like if someone told me, hey, Steph, you're going to be a medium in 10 years, like I would laugh. But learn who you are. I guess this is the theme of today. Learn who you are in your 20s. Figure it out. Do whatever you need to do. Learn who you are, get to know who you are, and that'll make the rest of the years to come much easier. So you're not figuring out who you are when you're 30. You'll know who you are and you'll know what direction you're going. That's a tough question. Okay, next question. If you could snap your fingers and have anything you want, what would you ask for? I really should have reread these questions so I could have thought about it. Okay, if I could snap my fingers and have anything I want, what would I ask for? This is really hard because I feel like I have everything I want. I live in an amazing place. Like I've really, really, really created my own reality these past few years. Like this podcast has been on a big journey with me, and in a few episodes I'm going to share a lot about this. But I've created everything that I wanted. Like I live where I want to live. I have amazing people in my life. I have a beautiful job. I'm happy. I wish the gyms were open. But that's outside of my control. If I could snap my fingers and have anything I want, what would I ask for? Okay, let me think. Okay, my joking answer is gonna be skinnier ankles because I have cankles, and I literally went most of my life not knowing I had cankles until Joe actually pointed them out to me 6 years ago, and I have never been able to unsee my cankles. And you can't out-train cankles, just so you know, you just can't. And they're all I see when I look in the mirror. I love every part of my body, every part but my cankles. Hate them. So if I could have anything I want, I would want skinnier ankles. But outside of physical things, my non-joking answer, I think in terms of maybe a magical power, I would want time travel abilities, or I don't know what that's called. I want to be able to snap my fingers and poof, I'm in Vancouver, and then snap my fingers and poof, I'm in Ontario, and then snap my fingers and poof. I hate traveling, and I feel like it wastes so much time. Even though time is an illusion, but still, I wish I had I could snap my fingers and be somewhere. This is a really tough question because I really feel like I have everything. And I feel like that's really lucky of me to say. Okay, I'm really thinking about this question. I've paused this 4 times to try to think. And the person that asked this question is going to love this answer. So I hate these type of questions. And the same questions of if you had $1 million, what would you do with it? Because not much of my life would I change. And that's because I'm a very powerful manifester. If I want something, I know I can get it. If I want to achieve something, I know I can get it. If I want to change something in my life, I know I can change it. I know that everything is available to me at my fingertips. So in a not cocky way, I know I can manifest whatever I want. So in the snap of my fingers, I can have what I want. And I've seen it. Anything I want, I can have. So I don't really desire for anything right now. I mean, even to say oh, I wish I had removing fear or more confidence in things, or knowing what was happening. I actually don't want any of that because I want to go through it. I want to learn the lessons. I want to experience. But yeah, skinnier ankles. I'll take that because then life would be chef's kiss, because that's something that really bothers me. And you can't do anything about your ankles. This is another good question. Top 3 things you learned most about yourself on the spiritual journey. Top 3 things. Number 1, my intuition is always right. Trust your gut. She knows. That chick knows. Follow your gut. That would be number 1 for sure. Number 2, trust yourself. Trust that you have an idea of who you are, where you're going, what you want, what you don't want. Trust you have the tools already. I just feel like you really need to trust. And number 3, the top 3 things I learned most about myself. I would say that I really surprised myself Like I say I surprised myself, but I didn't in what I'm capable of and what I'm able to do. So I think something that I learned about myself is that I can do whatever I put my mind to. I can do whatever I like say I'm going to do, but I just like trust that I'm going to do it. So the things that I say yes to are like sometimes I'm like what am I thinking? But I just like know I'll show up. I know I'll do it. I'll know I deliver. I know I always like can do it. And I learned that I like really like teaching. I really like sharing my knowledge, and you just got to do it. It's almost like do it before you think about it kind of thing. So that was something that I really, really learned because even still, I just like set myself up to do things. I'm like, I'm going to figure it out. And it's funny because yesterday, in 2 weeks, I can say so much more. Yesterday, someone said to me, Steph, you always figure it out. They're like, you'll find a solution to this problem too. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I do always figure out. They're like, you always find a way to do it. And I was like, I will. And I feel like in my spiritual journey, I've always found a way to do it. So that's what I learned. Those are the 3 things, main biggest things. Like I can write a laundry list of things, but those are the 3 things. Okay, and the last 3 questions. Power round. How many hours of sleep do you get per night? At least 8, but upwards of 11. Do I watch Netflix? No, I don't have an account. I got an account over Christmas. I get it once a year for 1 month, and I watch all the Christmas movies I can in 1 month. I don't even own a TV. Minimum, maximum hours of work per week. I don't even want to count, but I work 7 days a week. So I'm an entrepreneur. I have 2 businesses and I have a lot going on. I do everything myself, everything. I edit, I record, I make content. I'm on Instagram. I do my website. I do anything you see from Medium in the Middle. I do all my back ends. I plan my launches. So I don't even want to count how much I work per week, but I love it. I love it. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And if I have time to watch Netflix, I always say I have time to work. So I'd rather be investing in myself and creating and growing than, watching TV. I do watch a lot of like stuff on the internet. Like I'll watch like YouTube or I'll watch videos or I heard this quote when I was in university and I don't remember it word for word, but it was something along the lines of think you don't have enough time in your life? Stop watching TV. And it's like ingrained in my brain. And I was like, oh my God, that's so true. You can easily watch like 3 to 4 hours of TV a night. And I was like, what could I be doing with 3 to 4 hours a night? So those were the questions. Thank you for your questions. They were really good questions this time. I like the mix of like food, spirituality, Reiki, CrossFit, food again. I hope you enjoyed those questions and answers. If you have questions, I do try to keep a little list so the next time I do a Q&A, I have some, so you can always DM me, but I usually put out a little poll on Instagram a few days before. Say, what are your questions? Reiki, mediumship, Akashic Records, Psyche, what do you want to know? And I think it's a nice way to just like see where you guys are at, see what's your vibe, see what you want to know about. Because sometimes people just want to know about like me as a human. What do I like eat for breakfast in the morning? Now you know, eggs and potatoes. And sometimes people want to know, what do I do at the gym? CrossFit. Love it. Something about a barbell just takes all my worries away. Gym, sleep, and food, that's how I can keep going. Gym, sleep, and food. There's my secret sauce. I always sleep. Like prioritizing sleep is my number one. I would do nothing in the morning. I know I've said this a lot before, but like you could be like, Steph, if you wake up at 5 a.m. every day for the next month, I'll give you $1 million. I would be like, keep your $1 million. I would rather sleep. I would. And I swear, I would figure out how to make $1 million when I'm up till 2 a.m. But just no way. If you want anything Medium in the Middle, at Medium in the Middle, themediuminthemiddle.com to book an appointment with me. All the links are down in the show notes. If you want to register for a Reiki course, register quickly. They are not going to last too long, but you should have at least a day or two when you're listening to this. If you are an iTunes user, I would love and appreciate a rating and a review. It really helps me out in the podcast world, and the podcast is growing. So thank you so much. I would love to get it monetized one day. I'll have a little add-on here. It's going to be soon. And it can just help support me in the time that I invest into this little baby that I love, and it's grown. We're at 1.5 years. This is wild. So thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I release new episodes every Tuesday. If you would like to subscribe, I will pop right up in your library. I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.